Hi, Cyborg-Lucario here for another episode of Amorous. I'm going to try to talk more, a bit more clearer, which seems to be something I have hard with. Trouble with. You know what I mean. Probably could have been. I could have probably been talking better if I had a better microphone other than the microphone on the webcam and the fan on my computer sounds a bit much. So where should I even be going now? Yeah, some time ago since I played this. Oh, I don't really remember. No, not so the apartment complex, whoever owns that one. Yeah, I should probably go and what the heck should I even be doing? Heck, what am I gonna do? Let us call Jax again. I like to say that Kiss lasted me until our next date. I know even Kobe was getting tired of me talking about it. Over the ultimate days, the disaster struck life. My jobs started getting callbacks, and that meant interviews. Wound up only being a couple, but they were all scheduled in the afternoon for the next couple of days. I'd rush into an office or store and try to remain composed and calm while I glanced at the clock. Both times it ran long, and once I'd gotten free, Jax was already getting ready to work and nearly out of the door. I'd resolved to sacrifice a little sleep the second night and at least catch him at work. We could go after his shift, maybe grab some breakfast and try to get this back into something resembling normal. I slapped the alarm lock and dragged myself out of bed. It felt a little strange downing a cup of coffee while it was still dark. Out of the last thing I wanted to do was head to the club and wind up passing out on the table. As the caffeine settled into my system and I found myself more alert, I started thinking about what to wear. After a few moments, I got myself together enough to head out the door. This schedule wasn't sustainable. I knew that. I'd eventually have to get a job. Bills sadly don't pay themselves. What if that meant we never had any free time together? I mean, I could try to find Dash if somewhere to sync up with this, but I chuckled to myself as I pulled into the club parking lot. If I was this concerned, then it was probably worth making the effort. The place was hopping, packed from nearly wall to wall with people dancing, drinking and generally having a good time. Above my wave rode the undulating crowds, keeping an eye out for both Jax and any club goers who might so try to drag me off again. I saw him briefly, bobbing like a little blue cork in a sea of rainbow color spots that couldn't get close enough to wave him down. Disheartened but not willing to give up, I managed to squeeze my way to the bar and found a seat. "Can I get you some?" "Oh, hey. It's you! Dropping in to see Jax again?" "If I can. It looks pretty crazy tonight." "Yeah. We had another group come in an hour or so ago. I guess word is getting out about the club. It's great for business, but horrible for our personal lives, if you know what I mean. I haven't seen my soul in ages." That comment didn't bode well, but if he was still managing a relationship, there was hope at least. He poured me something to take the edge off and moved down the bar to the next customer. Meanwhile, I kept an eye out for Jax. He was helping a rather rowdy crowd of customers in a back booth. I waved and he noticed me, smiling brightly. Unfortunately, he didn't notice when two of them got up from the table and spun around to head down the last glass with a flourish. He collided with the two customers and both the drinks and the day-to-ray he was carrying to the floor with a crash. Misspelling! Despite it being barely audible about the pumping music, it still flinched at the sound. "Hey, move out of the way, you ass! I'm not even talking to you." I barely had time to get on my feet before the customer Jax I collided with was shouting and yelling at him. Jax was turning a deep furb and apologized profusely as I saw another person walk up, this one wearing a shirt and a tie. Soon the three of them were at it with each other, and after a few more words, Jax turned and headed towards the door. Let's see what I shall do. Follow Jax or confront the customer. I will confront. I didn't know what happened to Jax, but I knew one thing. The jackass that's at the table had something to do with it. I stood up from my stool and made my way toward the booth. They were all laughing about what had just happened when the bartender walked over with us out of drinks, stating they were on the house. I walked up to the guy Jax had collided with. "Something I can do for ya." "What do you say to that first bartender, the one who bumped into you?" He looked indignantly up at me as his friends burst out in another round of laughter. I could feel my fists balling up as I stood there. He snorted and flicked his head towards the door. "Tell him to work his faggy effing stubborn to get the F out of my way. Tell that manager what happened to and they fired that little effing fruit right there. Probably the sandwich." My expression went cold. Some of his compatriots fell suddenly silent and glanced amongst each other, likely because they could hear my hands clenching. He didn't seem to notice or care much. "Why, that little fruity lizard your boyfriend or something? Gonna come and beat me up for making like he's a klutz. Let me tell you something." He didn't get a chance to complete that thought before my fists slumped into his cheek. He slumped back back against his friends, eyes wide open and head wobbling on his neck like a cartoon character. I was about to let the other fist when I felt a hand close around my wrist. The bouncer told me that I needed to leave.
Yeah, you tell him.
I glanced back at the bouncer for a moment, seeing his eyes flick from me to the guy in the booth. His hand eased off my wrist just enough that it still looked as if he were holding it. I pulled my arm forward and socked the guy one more time on the opposite cheek before the bouncer grabbed my shoulder and pulled me away. They unceremoniously deposited me on the front step of the club, letting me know in the no uncertain terms I was unwelcome for the rest of the night. The bouncer shrugged at me, clearly seeing some justification in my actions, before walking back inside and leaving me on the curb.
What did you do?
Jack stood a few feet away, his eyes bloodshot, and looked at me. I rubbed my fist, suddenly feeling very hot on the spot.
That guy was an a-hole. He deserved it.
Jack stared at me as if I'd just broken his favorite glass. His mouth hung open in shock as he shook his head slowly.
What did you want me to do? Let him just badmouth you. What happened to you anyway? Why did you just leave? They fired me on the spot. Final warning. I effed up just enough for them to take away the one job that I liked. The only one that I was good at. Fired you for spilling a drink? That's crazy! You can't be everything! You've been working there for ages now. They wouldn't just up and let you go because of one mistake, will they? The manager wasn't fond of my antics. He just wanted me to serve the drinks, not to make a show of it, particularly if I was going to drop bottles or spill anything. This was just the opportunity he was looking for. Yes, you can find another job. We can hire you having elsewhere. You don't have to put up with that, especially with such an asshole boss like that. You think it's that easy, that everywhere else is just the same? I had friends there. Or maybe you didn't know that. I wanted to work here. I wanted to be here. What to choose? What to choose? I'm sure you still can. I mean, so what if you spill a drink here or there? Customers likely do it all the time. You can go back and fight this. Fight what? The guy who runs the place? And how do you expect to do that? We go back in tomorrow morning and have a long chat with him about the circumstances. I'm sure we can work something out. We can't. We couldn't. It took me forever to get that job. To actually find something I enjoyed as a job. Do you have any idea how rare that is? We don't know that, Jax. That guy was a jerk, and maybe we can explain that to the manager. You're good friends there. Maybe they can help you out. Even if they can't. We may still be able to get you a job elsewhere. Oh, Red, so that's it! You're just going to stand there and enemy, it's all okay! That's doing something aloud can just get yanked out under me and I should smile about it! I'd never seen Jack so livid. His scales had shifted to a brilliant, almost violent red as both hands bulged tightly into fists. I wasn't sure if his intention was to harm me or just scream, but as I watched him tremble in rage, I had the same feelings the first time we met. I wondered who the real Jax was. What do you want me to say, Jax? That everything is going to be okay and we can just walk back inside right now and have everything stay the same? Because I can't. I want you to admit it. I want you to tell me why you had to show up now. Why you had to wave and make me look away and why you effing couldn't just stay home. This is my fault? That's what you're saying? You know how crazy that sounds right now. I give up my night to get a chance to hear you. Well then, maybe you shouldn't have come. You're always busy doing other stuff. Staying away from me. Why come down now? Why this night? I didn't do anything, Jax. You hit the customer. You spilled those drinks. You're pissed off that, I guess. You don't get just to blame me because it's convenient. I don't know why, but that seemed to hit a nerve. Jax was no longer upset. He was livid and screaming at me. His voice echoed off the buildings nearby. His whole body reveling with a barely contained rage. Damn it, Zack! You never understood me! You never understood anything but your own effing tiny little world! You never cared what happened to me! What I wanted to do! It's my life! My choice, and you can go the F to hell! Jax shot hung there for a moment, his body trembling as the lost echoes reverberated through the alleyway. His gaze shifted color wildly, or tensed as if he was about to attack. It may have been the look of confusion on my face, or the shared silence beneath that flickering streetlight that brought him back, but the sudden realization was clear in his eyes. Oh crap, I didn't. That wasn't. In a moment, it was as if his strings were cut. He fell to his knees on the sidewalk, just staring at me and through me. I better try and comfort him. Wordlessly, I stepped forward. My movements didn't pull his gaze away at whatever he was. I watched in his rictus of shock. Kneeling down, I slid my arms around him and pulled him closer to me. As he sank into rest on my shoulder, my body pressed close to his. The spell over him broke, and that hairs flowed freely once more. I'm sorry. Oh, shit, I'm so sorry, Ciel. It wasn't just... Shh, it's alright. I know. The night's been rough. The past couple of days as well. Just let it out. It made me tremble to hear those deep and awful sobs. His arms flung around me. As beneath that streetlight, in the middle of the night, we held each other longer than any time previous. His scales faded to a more subdued hue, the color washing out to a dusty light blue as he slowly found himself again. Jack's breathing started to slow as he gathered himself together. The last few tears ran down his cheek as he composed himself enough to stand. Sorry, I know I have been saying that all night, but you didn't deserve that. I just couldn't eat anything but my job ending and you weren't there anymore. It was just Zack giving me that judgmental stare. Jax, who is Zack? The guy I mentioned on our date. He was a bigger piece of work than I let on. I didn't want to tell you about the breakup. That there was a bigger reason than just him being an a-hole. I felt a twinge of anger rise again, both at Zack for what he must have done, and at Jax for feeling like he couldn't Hulk to me. I forced it down and just listened. Our last few days together were rough. Fights every day, shouting match us at home. I was the problem, and he had to make me understand why. He thought at first that the club had some hold on me, that I was just too weak to leave. He swallowed hard in his hand, reaching out to lean against the street lamp and keep him upright. I instinctively stepped closer to him. I tentatively extended my hand to touch the top of his. At first he drew back, lifting his gaze to mine again, before waving his fingers between mine and giving my hand a gentle squeeze. I nodded to him, motioning for him to continue. About a week before we broke up, he tried to get me fired, set up an elaborate ruse in order to get me in trouble so I wouldn't have any choice but to leave. He said he knew best, that I'd be better off if I didn't work there anymore. He said he was doing me a favor. It was quite a bit to take in at once. I thought it was odd. His disinterest in guys being spurred on by nothing more than a bad breakup, but now I began to see the whole picture. This guy didn't just ignore him, he tried to completely dominate him. No wonder you snapped at me, Jax. I wasn't trying to do anything. You have to know that. I know. The manager had been expressing his displeasure more lately, and I just wanted to see you again. Spend some more time with you. I didn't pay attention, and maybe Zack was right. That's bullshit! No one will call beef. And if manipulating someone like that could be right about anything. You wouldn't have gotten this angry if it didn't mean something to you. meant mean. That's what's real. Not what some scrape who wanted just a trophy says, and not what some idiot who couldn't watch where he was going says. I guess there really was a reason I was willing to give you my number. Thanks, CL. Thanks for everything. I think I just need to get some sleep. Try to calm down a little. It's been a rough ride. So I saw. You're going to be alright? Jack swallowed hard, lifting his head slowly, as if a weight remained around his neck. He met my gaze, letting out a soft sigh before he found the words. I will be, if you'd stay the night with me. I was caught off guard by the request. I didn't want to take advantage of his current emotional state, but that's I'm concerned I don't want to see him alone in bed with this sort of mood looming over him. My hesitation must have been more apparent than I thought, as I noticed him step forward and kiss me gently on the cheek before pulling me into an embrace. I see the wheels turning. I just don't want to wake up alone. I got a hunch if you're uncomfortable sharing a bed. Don't know hanky. Sorry, I'm just too exhausted to enjoy it. Alright. I won't feel right sleeping into bed with you when you're still so emotionally raw. I can crash on the couch and I'll be right there if you need me. He smiled just a little, his scales shifting as head or two back to their normal hue. Gallant and compassionate, I certainly know how to pick you. Of course, you needn't be a gentleman this time, but I will feel much better knowing you're there. Gently, he wrapped his hand around mine and motioned down the street in the direction he wanted us to go. Let's go. Oh, such a cute smile. The walk back to his place was uneventful but very satisfying. He expressed some concern about my car, but it was locked and an eminently forgettable brand, so I wasn't too worried. We talked a bit more about him, about Zack, and about living under someone like that. He was feeling better, letting someone in and sharing that part of his life. I couldn't fathom staying with someone like that, but it did explain more about him. His desire to please, his showmanship. He wanted to be free and found a way to express that. Ah, so is that Jack's apartment? When we got in and settled, Jax could barely keep himself standing. He didn't even undress and instead stumbled into bed with only the sodium street lamp to light his room. Well, I think it's a good time to end here for now. So, until next time, see ya!